All right, guys. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining the trading room today. For people that don't know me yet, my name is Ruben. I'm doing some of the trading room here at The5ers. Generally, we use Monday at the beginning of the week to make a forecast. So to make a forecast for all the week, talking about the news that's going to be released. Talking about all the macro economic context that we are actually standing for, and of course we can have some zone to highlight together, talking about gold, silver, and Forex pairs. So it's going to be interesting. I see a lot of usually guys like Edward, Lucian. Thank you for joining again. A lot of session. Hi, Mickey. So let's start. So let's start the session. I will talk first of all about the dollar index. That last week was very interesting. up and down move that may lead us to understand what is still the global context. Still, the context didn't change yet, but that's very interesting to share what I think about it. And here we are on the dollar index. So you see here we had kind of a fake breakout on that zone, and then we retraced all the way. Of course, on the weekly chart as well, we stand in a very interesting supply that still the market cannot go over that yet. There was also a lot of talks about interest rate last week that made a lot of moves that were actually interest rate in the pound, interest rate in the dollar as well, and in the euro. But here you stand for, okay? The uptrend is still intact, as you can see. Okay, you had this uptrend that I think a lot of people are looking for that, and there are still some zone that you can expect the market to bounce again and again and reach again this zone. Okay, to make another test to that one. I feel that this week the market opened very slowly. Okay, there is like very consolidation move. You will see also on the euro dollar what's happened. On the yen, there was another big move in volatility, but you will see in the dollar, especially today, not big moves. I think we can expect a move when the American market will open, also at Wall Street, and we will see what's happened there. But still, the futures in the indices are still flat for today. So nothing interesting. As you can see, the daily candlestick is very. See, this is the trade for today. Like the market opens here, and actually we are still flat. So still not a big move today. But of course, we expect to see larger move on the following week. Again, we are in a zone that can be very crucial for the dollar index. And of course, that will implies us to be very careful for the dollar currency that we will trade on the Forex market. So here the zone that we could be very careful. So this option line, actually the market don't want to make a lower low, but if we see that the market break this low here, okay, it's going to be the beginning of a new cycle when the dollar will start to depreciate and we will see a large move in dollar currency. Or still the market can still continue its routine, continue on the uptrend, making bounce and goes back until the market decide where it will go. But still, here it's very clear we are in an uptrend on the dollar index. Okay, sorry, I didn't see the screen. Okay, never mind. Yeah, thank you guys for telling me. I just put the chat here on screen. All right, so here the dollar index. Okay, so you see on the daily chart. Okay, I was talking about an uptrend line. Okay, that's what we see. A lot of investors are looking for bonds up and up. Okay, and still, like I mentioned just before, if the market don't break this low here, okay, the cycle will still continue and we will still think for a stronger dollar. But we are actually in a very crucial zone. We should check what's going to do the dollar index either on that zone. Okay, that is the zone that we should check for that week, and also this trend line. So that's okay. This is the channel that we should look for. So very uptrend clear, and of course it will imply us to check the dollar pairs very. We should check the dollar pairs very according to what we see on the dollar index in the following week. Yeah, and I know that you didn't see the chart just before, but I just want to explain. I said that the market is very flat this morning, especially very low volatility. Okay, you see that the market opens here and actually we are very flat. So nothing, not a big move. Not a big move today, but of course we expect an increase in volatility in the following week. Okay, we see here the market make a low, make a higher low than this one, and I think the market can still goes and continue. But you should be careful if the market breaks this line. You should check if the market don't close below that low. But if you see that the market closed below that area, it will begin a new cycle when the dollar will start to depreciate in value. So be careful with this area here. Okay. If you have some question regarding what I think about dollar index or what your thought as well, let me know in the chat. I just opened it now, so feel free to ask any question on the dollar index. But still, this is very clear. Okay, we see from beginning of July, ups and down move, making higher high all the time. Sorry, higher high and higher low as well. So that's what I'm looking for. Okay, let's talk about the euro dollar, and we will see also what the dollar index implies to us. Okay, still today the market is very ranging. Okay, you see this is the H1 chart. I will put it on the M30 even. But you see that from Friday the market is locked down in this consolidation area. Actually, we have a daily support at that zone. We have the upper range here, and the market is started to bounce ups and down. So yeah, as a day trader, it's going to be very easy to identify some bounce here and here, but be careful at the end of the cycle. Okay, generally when you want to identify continuity of the cycle, generally the market breaks down. Okay. Of course, the market make that type of range, okay, just because we are in an area that was traded just before. Okay, you see on the daily chart, this was the highest point of what date it was? I think it was middle of January. Okay, so we go deep below and then we reach again. Of course, very difficult to expect that the market can go straight away without making any retracement. So of course, the market will stand for a small consolidation. Some investor would like to take profit at that zone, okay, and the market can decide where you want to go. But if you see that the support line is breaking here on the M15, as you know, guys, I don't like to expect the breakout, but I want to react towards the market. And of course, if I see that this range here breaks below, okay, I will try to open myself a short position. Of course, I don't want to go in the middle of the down movement. Okay, I would like to prefer for a large breakout, a small retracement. Okay, and then try to get that spot or here, or even if it touch back again to that zone, it will be even better for me. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. If you're a scalper or day trader, of course you can trade in that consolidation zone. That will not be bad at all. Okay, here the risk reward is totally high. Okay, putting the stop loss just below that area, making a partial profit in the middle of the range. You know, there is a lot of strategy to make very good and efficient trades in that type of area. But if you see that the market is breaking down or is breaking up, try to react to the market as a swing position, and it will do the job. Okay, but don't expect for a breakout. That's still my point of view in the market. I don't like to expect what's going to do the market, but I like to react. Okay, so that's something very important. It can be a liquidity grab. Okay, you see that here the market is a very strong trend and momentum. Of course, if it's going to be completely correlated to what we see in the dollar index. Okay, if we see that dollar index respect the uptrend line that we see just before, and the dollar index start to goes up and recover, okay, of course we will break this area here, and we'll go back down to that middle demand, okay, at the beginning of the demand, just after the news of the euro interest rate. Okay, so if we break down the next target for us, it will be here. Okay, of course, you see, when there is a big push like that, generally there is a high chance that if we break this zone, we go straight to the beginning of the demand. Okay, generally here there is like no buyer at all. It's like there is a big gap of liquidity here, okay, on the H1. So if we break, high chance that we go to that demand. And of course, the next area will be that zone, but I have a big doubt if we can reach that again. You should look closely the news that will be released this week, and of course the dollar index. We will talk about the news later on the trading room today. But I think that's very clear enough for us. Okay, the market can break above, and if we break above, it's the confirmation, okay, of this big movement that we had last week. But I believe that for LC market, we can see a small tracing down to that area, and of course that's going to be linked with what I see on the dollar index that can make an higher move. Okay, so that's actually the area that we should look for, the dollar index, the euro dollar that week. Okay, very clean consolidation zone. The next breakout will be very massive. Okay, it will be all on the upside or it will be on the downside, but each breakout will lead to a large movement. Okay, you see that here there is no liquidity at all, and also on the upside, you see there is a lot of place to go, at least to that supply. Okay, this will be the next zone. Okay, so expecting a next breakout will lead you to 150 pips upward, okay, and 150 pips below. Okay, so expect a large movement, high volatility when the market will break this area here on the H4. This was for the euro dollar actually. According to the pound, I think I look at it also this morning, but here it's very interesting. Okay, you had actually a Quasimodo pattern here. You had the head here, you had the first shoulders, and you had the second shoulders. Okay, and you see there is a neckline creating like that. Okay, it looks like the market is going. It looks like the market going to slide on much more. Okay. Yeah, it looks like we are at least on the H1 time frame. For us, it's very clear. Okay, we are here. Cannot go above this area. That is the supply. You see, it's the middle of the supply here. So for me, actually, this is very clear. We are started a downtrend in the pound dollar. Okay, be careful to make a buy at each zone. Okay, for the moment there is no confirmation for me to open any buy. However, I have multiple zones. Okay, to make a sell here. Okay, this is very clear for me. Of course, the line that I put just to show you the end, the Quasimodo pattern that I just identified. But this is clear. We have actually this zone that looks like on the H1. You see your 30 minutes resistance that's still hold for the moment. Okay, so the expected move is to continue the downtrend. Okay, there is no yet a confirmation to make a buy. Okay, even you see that dollar index will slide down. And again, on the daily chart, we are still on a small downtrend with ups and downs. And you should also be careful to a big head and shoulders inverted as well here. Okay, but of course, this will happen on what we see on the dollar index. Okay, this is also very interesting. You have the head here. You have the shoulders here, the first one, and the second one. Okay, so of course, be careful to that one. Okay, the first one, the first leg here. Sorry, first leg, the head, and the second leg. So try to look. I think the dollar is actually driving the market. Okay, so again, look at the dollar index very carefully that week. We still stand in a very important period actually, on what we understand from the interest rate hike in US and also in Europe. This could lead to the dollar to make huge moves, okay, for the long term. Okay, again here on the daily chart, if you want to ask me about the daily chart, there is nothing much to do. Okay, we are actually in the middle of the range. I don't want to do anything here on the daily chart. Yeah, and only on the 30 minutes or the intraday chart, there was an area here that it was the beginning of the demand just after the raise, the interest rate news on the pound. We make a small retest, breakout, and make multiple retests to that area. You see that this area was a very key zone here, and we make multiple tests to that zone. The market still goes down. I also see the market cannot make here an higher high. If I look at the 15-minute for day trader, there is also like this area that is very clear. Okay, clear support, multiple bounce, breakout below, making multiple retests at that zone. All right, that's what I see as well on the pound dollar. It's more bearish than the euro dollar actually. I believe we will make here a lower low on the following week. Okay, that's what actually I think on the pound. There is a major pair that you want guys to review. I think about talking about the dollar CAD. That was interesting to trade last week and very complicated actually to what we see on the oil market and different things to what we see to the dollar. I was catch on a move. Okay, I expect the oil to reach the $100 per barrel in the next few months. But still the dollar CAD, because of the dollar, is still rising. So we might see a divergence between the oil and the dollar CAD very soon, but still we are actually $92 per barrel in the oil market, and I will try to show you the graph just after. Okay, Lucian, we'll talk about the yen just after the dollar CAD. Okay, still very interesting also area on the dollar CAD. Okay, we have created this type of new uptrend. Okay, after this zone, okay, consolidation zone, breakout above, creating an uptrend move. Actually, the market stopped 2 times at the same spot. It's exactly to this area. Okay. Again, just be careful. The trend line that I'm putting, it's only to show you the trend of the market. Okay. Generally, it can bounce below, goes above. What is very important for you to identify an uptrend, okay, is to see that the low that we make is all the time higher than before. Okay. Even still here, it stands very well in any case. Okay, so dollar CAD, be careful at that area. We actually made a small retracement at the end of the last week, touching again this trend line. Here you see that the move is starting to be less volatile, and then we will see a breakout on both of the two zones. Of course, if we break above, there is a huge zone here. Okay, that can be for us a nice area to sell. But if he goes back, yeah, there is still a lot of demand created. Like we have this area here, this demand as well. And of course this one, but still very difficult to decide and make a decision here, as we are very close of this resistance and this supply, and we are in the middle of the next demand. So actually we are in the middle. So of course, if you have a trading plan, wait for you to reach one of the two zones and then react to what's going to happen. Actually here on the H4 chart, very difficult to make something. The next big area is here and the next one is here. So we're actually in the middle of nowhere. So very difficult to make any decision. Of course, it's for the H4 chart. On the M15, it might be something different. Okay. But still on the daily chart, you see that there is okay. It looks like the dollar CAD found a stability, okay, to make it again above and above. This chart is a 6-month forecast, but all the time the market goes down very sharply. Okay, buyers come back and don't let the market breaks below the lowest. And you see all the time here, it's very, I like to see this type of chart, but we can identify very clearly the cycle of the market. Okay, you have this area. Okay, that's, I don't know, stand maybe for how much time there was from here to here. It's like 25 bars. Okay. And then the market make again another consolidation. Again, 22 bars in average. And then I think it's probably a bit less here. Probably 10 bars, 10 days. Yeah, approximately. Okay. So it's very cool to see that type of chart, to see that some pairs you can identify a type of cycle. And it's very good to backtest and goes back to check in the past what's happened as well to create those type of trends. Okay, each pair have his own behavior in the market. Maybe this type of cycle in the dollar CAD can happen like also for this uptrend as well. Okay, so it's good to find in I don't know 2017, 2018, if the market behaved the same way to make this type of uptrend. Let's talk about the yen. I will go directly to the major one, so that the dollar yen, and then I will make the cross like the Aussie yen. I like to see this chart because I think it's an elevator. You have like two levels. Okay, you are at this level from 2021. Okay, then we break above, and then we create some type again of second area. Actually, on the daily chart, you see that we are exactly on the middle again. Okay, so less volatility, nothing much to do on the daily chart. So for a swing trade, better to wait, okay, because you are exactly in the middle of nowhere here. Of course, you have this area that is actually a strong one. Okay, it's supply here, but we have making an higher low. Okay. Still very difficult to find something on the dollar yen. I feel the market don't give us a lot of opportunity here. Look here on the H1, the market react to that demand. Okay, I will see also on the M30 minute that is very clear. Okay, this demand here that react. So of course, when you go to lower time frame, you will all the time find some type of opportunity or key zone on the market. But if you go to the daily, most of the time you will be like in the middle of the range, and you will not have a lot of places and space to go. So if you're a swing trader, you should be very patient, make an alert on your chart and wait that the market hits the signal, and then you decide what to do. But it will happen most of the time for the swing trader. For the daily traders that look at the M30 and 15 minutes, the market is much more reactive, so you can find a lot of good spots to do. Yeah, actually, I see that the market is in this area. That is also an important one. Okay, make multiple tests to that one, break out, and then we can see on the M5. Actually, the market is a bit struggling to go above that one. Okay, so that's for the dollar yen, Aussie yen. Still the same conclusion for me on the daily chart. Okay, I see there might be some good spot. Okay, so you have this area. Still very difficult to make a decision as well here. Still, that's still my opinion, but the market is still creating a kind of a downtrend. Okay, this might be a zone as well on the H4 to continue with the trend, but still, I don't like to see this type of a long consolidation time. So I'm a bit afraid that we can work out above. Yeah, very not clear for me actually the Aussie yen. Feel a bit confused, but tell me what you think about the area that we see here. Yeah, and of course we have this area just below. Okay, so that's actually the zone I have in mind for the H4 chart. Nothing else. Aussie New Zealand. Yeah, this is a high volatility pairs. Okay, you see a lot of pin bar all the time. You must have a very good risk management on that one. I generally don't trade the Aussie New Zealand, but we make this is a clear uptrend. I wouldn't want to sell actually the market here. Okay, the only thing I want to do is to make a buy, but you must have the good timing to make a buy as we approach the middle of the supply on that zone. And you see as well that I use Bollinger Bands to give me the volatility, okay, at each time. And you see that the market is highly volatile, so we can expect a small rebound. So actually, again, I won't touch anything here. Okay, you can make a buy to continue on the trend, but what you will have yeah, you will have a 50 pips win to make a risk reward of 1-to-1. Nothing very interesting here, as this line on the daily chart is very strong. Okay, on the daily, I expect we can see. I expect we cannot break it on the first try. But still, the uptrend is still clear, intact, but we are kind of approaching the end of the uptrend. Yeah, something very interesting here. I remember I like to trade those type of pattern. For example, like you have a doji on the Bollinger Band that give us a volatility signal. I have my stochastic that is slightly cross above the white 100. Look, and on the daily chart, you have this type of thing. What's happened on the, yeah, okay, that. Again, on that market, the uptrend is still intact. Okay, very difficult to make a sell. Even here, I can expect what the market can do. But yeah, this is actually a clear uptrend. But you see that on the pound New Zealand, the market is on a cycle, okay, in 2017. Okay, 2017. Okay, you have this type of range till 2017. Of course, this area is a very strong area that again, the Forex market is totally different than other market that, you know, a huge hike in interest rate or whatever can, I don't know, like a news in the stocks can totally break out very easily this type of zone. In the Forex market, okay, when this is a slightly and the lowest volatile market, also the most liquid market that we have in the financial world, it's very difficult to think and have in mind that we can break completely and directly this type of area. When the market for almost 1 year, okay, had a lot of exchanges here and then goes back. And that's something you should take in consideration, that the Forex markets have another type of cycle that, of course, because you know that there is a cycle, it can be let's say an advantage for you and to get advantage of the cycle that we have. But of course, for me here, it's overextended. Okay, like you mentioned on the chat. But still, the confirmation on the downside is not clear enough. Okay, on the H4, I have still this zone that, of course, if I want to sell, I don't want to sell here. That is for a daily support. Okay, so that I don't want to sell here at any type of thing. Maybe making a sell here for large win. Why not? You can also sell in the middle. Okay, but of course you will not sell at the support of the daily chart. Oh, sorry, or the H1 chart. Let's look at the euro yen, and then just after I will talk about other markets and what we can expect for the releasing news this week. This is very interesting. I don't know how to put my eyes here, but you have a supply. Okay, just here. Okay, the market, I don't know if we can tell that the market reached that supply. Okay, probably not yet. Like we are like few pips or reaching the supply. But we have also this area, okay, that we break. Okay, we break actually this big area straight away, and actually we are making a retest. Okay, I believe that we can expect a rangey market, okay, for the following week that can stand here. Okay, if the market is not so much volatile that week, we can expect that the market will continue back and forth here. Okay, ups and down, making some bounce actually on that range. Of course, we have to check that today. You see that the market today make a big reaction on the downside, but actually reacted to that area. Okay. Yeah, Edward. Okay. Okay, there is a high chance again to get back here. Again, we can make another test to the up here, but to the upside. Again, for that week, I expect that we can range during that area for at least 1 day or few days, and then we will see a workout somewhere. But you see here that we are when we have a strong move like that, okay, there might be some a small retracement in the uptrend to make it healthy. Okay, actually, I see that this breakout is healthy. Okay, you break out. Okay, it's confirmed, but this candle, and then this candle make a retest exactly at the zone we break. Okay, so that means this might be a strong area to make a buy for the continuity of the trend. And again, here the risk reward might be totally high. Okay, you have to set the stop loss just below that area. All right. Just want to check what are the news for the following week. And of course, talking about the commodities, I know that oil is heading to the top. It might give us some indication for the dollar and for the CAD. Again, I was very surprised that the CAD don't correspond too much the following week with what we see on oil. But still, very interesting. Okay. Okay, let me share the screen with you. Okay. Okay, so you have Lagarde that speaks today. That is the president of the European Central Bank. That we may think small movement on the euro. I don't know what you will say, but generally in the market, don't move too much. There is like no, it's not no news. It's only like a meeting, I believe, a journalist. Tuesday, nothing interesting, and Wednesday, you see here on the CAD. Okay, that also there is a high expected news regarding the Central Bank of Canada, that can make huge move on the CAD, on the Canadian dollar pairs. So be careful today. Lagarde, we're gonna speak about the euro. Tomorrow, nothing interesting. Okay. Wednesday, you should be aware of the CAD at 7 p.m. It's my time, I think. Yeah, so it's actually my time. So in Europe, it's probably like 3 p.m. So it's gonna be at 6 p.m. it depends on where you're from, but actually on Wednesday there is a news regarding the CAD. Thursday, of course, CPI. Okay, consumer price index that will let us know what's the strength of the dollar at that time. You see that the expectation, this is the forecast, this is the previous. You see a slightly drop. Okay. Again, I don't like to expect what's going to happen on the news. I want to react of what the market is giving us. And still on the same day, Bank of England talking about the pound. So Thursday and Wednesday are going to be very interesting all the time at the end of the week. Also for the Australian in the middle of the night, talking about the Australian dollar. Okay, so Thursday and Friday are going to be very volatile. Of course, that's something I'm going to expect. And in start Wednesday on the afternoon, talking about the CAD. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to and finish with gold and silver. I just see that in the morning. You see how much liquidity trap you had here. Okay. Commodities is much more volatile than Forex. That's for sure. But look, the gold is still on the uptrend. Okay, gold is still on the uptrend. It's still respect multiple times this movement. Okay, we had a lot of pin bar at the market. We make also here all the time an higher high, but actually the market is struggling to the middle of the supply of the range. Okay, it's the supply, and actually we are a bit struggling to go above. Actually, it's creating a resistance for today. Okay. That's what we see. Yeah, that's totally nice. Okay, like if you yeah, you actually sold the market at the top of the range. Still, you see on the 15 minutes that you see the market is making all the time a higher low. So try to look when the market will make a lower low. Okay, and then replace your stop loss at break even. That's at least what I would do. But still, that the type of trade I also like to go because the risk reward is totally high. So yeah, good job, Tom, to catch here the top of the range. And that's also something I will do. It's also connected with the H4 here in the middle of the supply. So yeah, that's also a move I would look for. But yeah, definitely you see on the H1 a lot of pin bar here that the market react. That's not bad at all. But look for you see the small uptrend that we create on the M30. And it's gonna be great. But still, on the daily chart, for me, the uptrend is clear. Okay, we had a large drop 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, and the market can reach again. Okay, this is the top of the range, and you add the big supply that create here. Okay, so of course, in the middle of the week, if I can find a good buying spot on the gold, that's something I'm going to do. Maybe not to buy right now because we are actually on, you see, on the H1 and the H4 in a key zone. So that's not the buy I would look for. But if the market goes back to that demand, okay, to that demand here, and also that corresponds with my trend line, I will probably make a buy for the swing position. Okay, let's talk about the silver and finish with that. Yeah, approximately the same scenario what we see in gold. Okay, you had still this strong support that stand all the time. The market don't want to go even below, and on the weekly that is also the respecting area that we see on beginning of 2021. Okay, actually the market don't want to go below and drop. Still, I expect. I still think that we are in a commodity bull market, and you can see also on TradingView or in internet, all the commodity index are pushing up more and more. It's probably a edge against inflation. It's also the cycle. Okay, that's when you see that oil went below zero and then goes back to the beginning of a new cycle. Also, edge against inflation. Generally, when you see that. When you see that there is inflation, people want to hedge themselves or tangible assets, and that's why you see all the commodity sector that pushing up a lot. Not only oil and the metals, but only the agricultural commodities. So that's interesting to look. But here on the fundamental way, I still believe that gold and silver and add a lot of place to go on the upside. Of course, in the long term, I don't talk about here the H1 or the H4 chart, but even for a few months and at least 1 year. Okay, so this is the silver. But if you look on the H1, again, there is this area, approximately the same area, exactly the same area that we see in the gold. Okay, you had the demand that actually didn't react at all. Make a first retest, and you are actually testing the second retest. Okay, so of course you're making a sell is totally good. First of all, regarding the risk reward, but also regarding the cycle and the structure of this market. All right, guys. Any more questions? I think we talked about 50 minutes. I hope actually you enjoyed. If you have last 1-2 questions, I will be very happy to answer. You dropped on, maybe it goes back to one pairs. I will be happy to do that for you. What time frame do you trade most often? It depends of my activity in trading. Okay, if I want to like to make a special day trading activity, so I want to go on my train and trade all the day, I will start my analysis on the daily chart, go to the H4, H1, and making my decision point most of the time on the M15. Okay, the M15 chart will give me my confirmation and entry point. So that's for day trading. For a scalping attitude, of course, I will look for the H1, M15, and 5 and M1. So this is for a scalping strategy. And if I look for the swing, weekly, daily, H4 is more than enough to understand the structure on the swing part. But of course, as a day trader, I generally use the H1. That is the most common one. Yeah, Australian head and shoulders very big on the weekly or even on the daily. But still, in order to break the head and shoulders, I think you're talking about that. You're talking about the H1. See, this is not confirmed yet. Okay, you have the head here. That's probably the high you talked about. Then there is the first one, the first shoulders. The second one actually it's starting to get broke. But as long as you don't reach the neckline, okay, and the neckline is here. Okay, it's very difficult to talk about head and shoulders, but if you go close again to that support line, of course you can expect your head and shoulders pattern. The last push. But it's like there is like an head and shoulders here, but also you had something here. Like you had the head here, you had also the shoulders here in the second. See, you can find a lot of pattern, but still you should apply those type of pattern using a price action and using your signals and using your confirmation point. Okay, I will not enter the market just only because I see an head and shoulders, but generally an head and shoulders, like you mentioned. Okay, this is a support, and as talking about the head and shoulders, you want to expect to break out of that, and of course it's very difficult to expect. Like again, I repeat, I'm a reactive trader and not an expected trader. Okay, I like to react to what's happened. All right, guys. Thank you very much for. I will just close it. Thank you for being with me today. Again, very interesting. Very interesting trading room. I think we cover almost all the pairs. Talk about the dollar index. Talk about the news that's going to happen. Be looking at high volatility session at the end of the week. Okay, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And still be careful regarding your risk management. Again, if you have still any point that you want to talk tomorrow, there will be a live trading room. Yaniv going to do that, and Wednesday Sal making the psychology session. All right. Yeah, the camera just turned off. All right. Again, thank you very much. Have a nice week, and we stay in touch, guys. Bye-bye. Bye, Edward. Bye, Chris. Bye, Lucian. Bye, everyone.